First, we begin with the roundup of this week's activities. Firstly, the Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister of Poland is on a two-day visit to Islamabad, Pakistan from 23rd to 24th October. Upon his arrival at the ministry, the DPM Foreign Minister warmly welcomed him. The two leaders had a tete-a-tete, followed by delegation-level talks, signing of two MOUs and a joint press stakeout, which most of you attended. The Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister of Poland also called on the Prime Minister. During the meeting, the Prime Minister recalled cordial and friendly Pakistan-Poland ties spanning over decades. He lauded Poland's high level of industrialization and progress. The Prime Minister expressed desire to further expand bilateral cooperation in trade, energy, defense, education, labor, and other areas of mutual interest. Regional and international developments, including peace efforts in the Middle East and Ukraine, were also discussed. The Prime Minister emphasized the importance of peaceful resolution of disputes, including Jammu and Kashmir, through dialogue, diplomacy, and relevant UN resolution. He underscored Pakistan's consistent position of upholding international law, humanitarian principles, and the UN Charter. The Prime Minister conveyed his warm regards to Prime Minister Donald Tusk of Poland and extended an invitation to him to undertake an official visit to Pakistan at his earliest convenience. The Polish DPM and FM expressed Poland's strong interest in deepening its engagement with Pakistan in diverse fields, while sharing that Polish investment in Pakistan's petrochemical sector was over US $0.5 billion. He suggested that Pakistan could also benefit from Polish expertise in water treatment. He appreciated Pakistan's role in promoting peace, regional stability, and progress. Both sides agreed to enhance contacts to further consolidate cooperation. This week, our Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister, Senator Mohammad Ishaq Dar, had three important telephone conversations. Last night, he spoke with Deputy Prime Minister, Foreign Minister of UAE, Sheikh Abdullah bin Zayed Al Nahyan. The two leaders discussed bilateral, multilateral issues of mutual interests, as well as recent regional and global developments, and agreed to stay closely engaged. Secondly, the DPM and FM had a telephone conversation with Foreign Minister of Saudi Arabia, Prince Faisal bin Farhan, on 21st October. Building on their previous discussions, the two leaders reviewed recent regional developments, including Gaza and Palestine, and reaffirmed their shared commitment to promote peace and stability in the region, while agreeing to stay closely engaged on matters of mutual interest. Thirdly, the Deputy Prime Minister, Foreign Minister, also received a telephone call from the Foreign Minister of Morocco, Mr. Nasser Bourita, on 21st October. The two leaders recalled their recent bilateral meetings on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly and reiterated their strong commitment to further strengthening bilateral cooperation in areas of mutual interest. Foreign Minister Bourita was invited to visit Pakistan, which he graciously accepted. We welcome the agreement between Pakistan and Afghanistan finalized in Doha, Qatar on 19th October 2025 as a first step in ensuring regional peace and stability. We deeply appreciate the constructive role played by brotherly countries Qatar and Turkey. The agreement came as a result of delegation-level talks held between Pakistan and representatives of Afghan Taliban regime in Doha. Minister for Defense Khwaja Asif led our delegation. The talks focused on immediate measures to end cross-border terrorism against Pakistan stemming from Afghanistan and the restoration of peace and stability along Pakistan-Afghanistan border. Pakistan also looked forward to the establishment of a concrete and verifiable monitoring mechanism in the next meeting to be hosted by Turkey in Istanbul on 25th October 2025 to address the menace of terrorism emanating from Afghan soil towards Pakistan and prevent any further loss of life of Pakistanis. As a responsible state committed to regional peace and stability, Pakistan does not seek escalation, but urges the Afghan Taliban authorities to honor their commitment to the international community and address Pakistan's legitimate security concerns by taking verifiable action against terrorist entities, including FAK, TTP, FAH, and BLA. Pakistan. Now moving to Arab Israel, Pakistan strongly condemned Israel's attempt to extend its so-called sovereignty over parts of the occupied West Bank, including illegal Israeli settlements through a draft law introduced in the legislature of the occupying power. These actions constitute a flagrant violation of international law, relevant UN resolutions, and the inalienable right of the Palestinian people, including the right to self-determination. Pakistan reiterates its commitment to working with regional and international partners to uphold the right of the Palestinian people, including their right to self-determination, and ensure peace, justice, and dignity of the Palestinians. We also reaffirm our unwavering support for the Palestinian cause, including the establishment of an independent, sovereign, viable, and contiguous state of Palestine based on pre-1967 border with Al-Quds al-Sharif as its capital. And as you must have noticed, on 22nd October, the advisory opinion of International Court of Justice was issued, which we welcomed. The advisory opinion was on the obligations of Israel in relation to the presence and activities of the United Nations and other organizations and third states in relation to the occupied Palestinian territory. The ICJ has unequivocally established that Israel, as the occupying power, is under legal obligation to facilitate and not obstruct humanitarian relief operations by the United Nations and its entities, especially by the United Nations Relief and Work Agency for Palestinian Refugees in the Near East, UNRWA. The opinion also reaffirmed that 1. Israel's obligation to ensure that the Palestinians receive essential food supplies, water, shelter, fuel, and medical care, and 2. Israel has no right to unilaterally extend its domestic laws to occupied territory in any manner that would impede or undermine the Palestinian people's inalienable right to self-determination. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the fourth ruling by ICJ on Palestine since January 2024. You may recall previous ruling including on genocide in Gaza, on Rafah crossing, on Israeli occupation and settlement, and now the fourth one on humanitarian assistance. Pakistan participated in written and oral proceedings of the case before the ICJ. We call for the immediate and full implementation of the ICJ's advisory opinion. Building on this ICJ's decision, in a joint statement yesterday, the OIC and the State of Palestine, with Pakistan, Jordan, Indonesia, Turkey, Djibouti, Saudi Arabia, Oman, the Gambia, Qatar, Kuwait, Libya, Malaysia, Egypt, Nigeria, and the Arab League, issued a joint statement condemning in strongest terms the approval of Israeli Knesset of the two draft laws aiming to impose so-called Israel sovereignty over the occupied West Bank and on Israeli illegal colonial settlement as a blatant violations of international law, the United Nations Security Council resolution, particularly Resolution 2334, which condemns all Israeli measures aimed at altering the demographic composition, character, and status of the occupying Palestinian territories, including the status of East Jerusalem. They reaffirm that Israel has no sovereignty over the occupied Palestinian territory. The joint statement welcomed the advisory opinion of the International Court of Justice issued a day prior to the issuance of this joint statement. Moving on to the domestic front, ladies and gentlemen, Pakistan's Space and Upper Atmosphere Research Commission, the SPARCO, has achieved a major milestone with the successful launch of Pakistan's first hyperspectral satellite, HS-1, from a Chinese satellite launch center. The satellite will enable precise monitoring and analysis of land use, vegetation, health, water resources, and urban development. It will enhance national capacities in precision agriculture, environmental monitoring, urban planning and disaster management. This will improve resource management and strengthen resilience to climate-related challenges. It will identify geohazard risks, thereby promoting sustainable infrastructure development. This marks a pivotal step forward in Pakistan's space program and reaffirms SPARCO's professional excellence and highlights the long-standing collaboration between Pakistan and China in peaceful exploration of space and its application for socio-economic progress. The Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister commended the scientists of this project. On 16th October, Pakistan's Minister for Commerce, Jam Kamal Khan Sahab, along with the Minister for Transport of Ethiopia, Mr. Elumu Faisa, inaugurated the 5th Pakistan of Africa Trade Development Conference and Single Country Exhibition in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. The event featured over 110 Pakistani exporters from 11 sectors under Pakistan's key initiative of Engage Africa policy, which aims to strengthen economic trade and investment ties with Africa, a region rapidly emerging as a global economic powerhouse. On sidelines of the event, the Minister of Commerce held a bilateral meeting with the chairperson of the African Union Commission, Mr. Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, at the headquarters of the African Union in Addis. The two leaders resolved to work towards institutionalizing cooperation in the field of agri-tech, food security, healthcare, education skills development, trade and investment. The chairperson of the African Union was extended an invitation to visit Pakistan, which he gladly accepted. Pakistan, ladies and gentlemen, took part in the 19th mid-term ministerial meeting of the Non-Aligned Movement held from 15th to 16th October in Kampala, Uganda, under the theme Deepening Cooperation for Shared Affluence. The Pakistan delegation was led by our Special Secretary for Multilateral UN Affairs, Mr. Nabil Munir. In Pakistan's national statement, Special Secretary Nabil Munir emphasized NAM's vital role in promoting peace and development amid global challenges, including the unresolved disputes of Jammu and Kashmir and Palestine and the climate crisis. He reaffirmed Pakistan's support for NAM's principled stance on the right to self-determination for people under foreign occupation and condemned rising Islamophobia and war rhetoric in South Asia. On the sidelines of the meeting, Special Secretary Nabil Munir held a meeting with the Foreign Minister of Uganda and other NAM leaders. The meeting concluded with the adoption of Kampala Declaration and a comprehensive outcome document which recognized Pakistan's contribution to peace and stability in the Middle East. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, Pakistan this week conveys its heartiest congratulations to Her Excellency Madame Saneh Takaichi on her election as the Prime Minister of Japan and on the appointment of His Excellency Motegi Toshimitsu as the Foreign Minister of Japan. We look forward to working closely with Japan to further strengthen the enduring friendship and cooperation between the two countries. I thank you all, and I now open the floor for question and answers.